Hello. Yeah, as I was saying, they only use humans when needed now. So, anyways, they could easily deploy dashers and swarms now using some rudimentary AI. For the dashers. Anyways, yeah, they're very effective in swarms. Although they were easy to take out. The tanks usually were built after the drivers. Were built after the drivers, and the drivers were built after the crawlers, by the way. And then after the tanks were the, what were they called again? I literally forgot. Oh, yeah, dashers. Anyways, yeah, the dashers came after the tanks. Anyways, so the tanks, they were normally sent in when an area was low on infected robots, you know, when there weren't many infected robots around, so that meant that their slow speed wasn't a problem, and they can be equipped with many weapons. And they were very, tanky as well. So yeah, they were usually sent in at the end. And where areas stopped being completely overrun with robots. But, it didn't. It didn't work all that well. Wait. The holes still being around implies that while this game is happening, the humans are still fighting. They're still here. So yeah, we're basically seeing their last ditch attempt to save themselves. That could have something to do with the ending of the game, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Which we won't get there very soon, will we? Anyways, there's the amp. They saw how well the Volt Striker did and how annoying it was. And they were like, okay, we need that in a weapon here. A lot of these weapons are easily explainable by the fact that they work well on the enemies. How this calculation works for the amp, the mortar, Nova, Ranger, and you may be asking, where do they use Ranger? It seemed like they use Ranger on the Sentry and Scrap Blast. Anyways, there's these hooks. They weren't used in the same way that they were on the Dreadnought and Dreadling, but they did provide extra jumping. So the robots could easily flee away. These are used in conjunction. These are used in conjunction with driver holes because it works pretty well. Pretty flighty and nimble. Hole shred, it's just a simple thing doing great health. Not much explanation there. Then there's Leech Cooler. This wasn't really there before at all. It was, they realized, hey, what if the parts of the robots that we killed, we could give them to our little machines that we use and just, heal them. They're going to be healed using the parts that they collect from enemies. So that would, honestly, that's a really good idea. Why weren't we doing this again already? So they started using the Leech Core. Now, the Leech Core, it actually mended the parts that I guess how it would work in lore is that it mends the enemy's parts to you. so that they give you health. So yeah, and it mends the enemy's parts to you the better than the better that it the better its rank is. So yeah. Anyways, you have the magnifier. See, they found a way to buff enemies' parts in such a way that it wouldn't make them stronger, but it would fill them. The magnifier can. We see like the purveyor has like arms that are technically disconnected from his main body. So the magnifier quickly zaps some good parts into the enemy. So it zaps those good parts into the enemy, and then we get those good parts when we kill them. And it also improves the parts of the enemy, but it doesn't improve the parts that would make the enemy healthier or more. This is hard to explain. More powerful. So yeah. Anyways, there's the motor. This is an extra motor that they use to make you faster. I think this is technically making you more nimble. Accelerate and decelerate quicker. You have more control over your motion. And the overdrive cell. The overdrive cell. Shoot, where the frick is my turret? The overdrive. Oh, I didn't get to explain the turret, now did I? I'll do that in a moment. Now, the overdrive cell, it basically attaches to your main core, to the whole of the main core. And you see the cores are those little things that look like eyes. I think they might have been used for optical perception. But it was. I think they might have been used to optical perception, but they're mainly your main source of power with all the power generated for robots. So the overdrive cells would basically act like mini versions of these things. So yeah, they were pretty good. The spike. This makes the surface of the hull rougher, and see, the spike isn't a weapon, it's a tech. Although, we do technically have the spike as a weapon, technically. So, yeah. Although, it's another version of it. I don't know what this does. Honestly, I don't know how this works. I don't know how this works, man. Why do you know how this works, man? I'm confused. See if there's anything else. Ember symbol. It produces a bunch of heat, and that can expel that into the environment. It's actually, yeah. And if you're looking at the thermal camera, it would look like sort of it's emitting fire, but it's not like actually igniting anything. It doesn't actually get to ignite us. We have built-in cooling systems, apparently, by the way, for embers. It doesn't get to ignite us, but when it does ignite something, we can actually visibly see that as fire. The node, I forgot to explain this. Uses a weapon slot to grant additional attack slot. Basically, it uses. Basically, it frees up some space inside your body, makes your body more compact, but also I don't know why it has to take up a weapon slot. I guess that's just for game balancing, because if you can put these things that give you more tech slots in tech slots, and they give you 2 instead of just 1, you could have so many tech slots made, and that would be unfair, right? So yeah, for example, with 4 of these, with 4 of these, you would have 4 tech slots at your disposal if they were tech. So yeah, I guess that's general game balancing. I guess the canon explanation for this is they couldn't. Nodes aren't cheap to produce, so they couldn't really, have them. They couldn't really have them in tech slots, but then only give 1 additional tech slot. Because, like, if you just have 1 node, like, dude, what are you doing? So yeah, they decided that it just isn't worth it, and it ended up being shoved into weapon slots. Then there are drones. We saw the drone weavers. Went, that's a really good idea, and then implemented that. It's not really anything else. Then there's hookshot, that you jump midair before touching the ground again. I think I already gave an explanation for this. What happened? I give propeller. It's a propeller that deploys. It looks like a circle with 2 small sections. 2 small triangular sections with 2 very thin triangular sections cut out on the sides, on opposite sides, but then they didn't make it a circle, just a circle, because they wanted it to be able to actually hold it in. Actually, it's like 2/4 of the circle have been taken out on opposite sides. So yeah, that's basically what the propeller is. It's very simple. It's very simple. Shield unit. It's a shield whenever you stop moving. Has to be charged after taking enough damage. It's very good, actually. Huh. They are tech. So I don't know, that seems good. I might end up using those. Anyways, self-explanatory. It creates a shield of energy that interferes, that can block explosions and stuff like that, and it can also the shield can basically change on the fly to dodge or to defend you against anything you want to be defended against. Spring increases your jump power. It's just it's just a spring. What else do you want me to say? It's literally just a spring that they put inside you. Anyways, hold on.